So now we can talk about the lookup transformation. Okay. So what do you mean by the lookup transformation and where we supposed to use this lookup transformation in the real time? Okay. And in the further, what types of outputs it will return and what type of connections it will support and what kind of rows and how to handle them and what kind of cache modes we have, cache modes. So these are all things we can see. First, about the lookup means lookup transformation can be used to get the reference data from the reference table. Okay, so it will return two types of outputs. Okay, we can use this lookup transformation to implement the incremental loads. So the thing it is, what is incremental load? And before knowing the incremental load means, what are all the types of loads we have in any ETL tool? In everywhere. Okay. So data loads, there are two types actually. Okay. So full load and incremental load or delta load. Both are same. Delta load or incremental load, both are same. Okay. So first we can talk about the full load. What do you mean by the full load? Full load means, for example, I have a source. This is my source, for example, AdventureWorks 2019 database in this new server. This is my target, for example, SQL B13. This is the server. In SQL B13, I do have a target table. For example, this is the table. Okay. Full load means each and every time, whenever you are trying to execute the SSIS package, the target table, it will truncate. Okay. That means this table data, it should be truncated. Why? Because this is my target table. Okay. It is truncated and freshly load all the data from source. That is called full load. Okay. So again, I'm repeating, full load means every time the target table will be truncated. Okay. Target table will be truncated when we are loading the data, and it will freshly pick all the data from source and loading it into the target. That is full load. Okay. When it comes to the incremental or delta load, what do you mean by the incremental and delta load means? Okay. So incremental load means here we can load the data day by day. For example, let me open the Excel for better understanding purpose. So for example, you have a data. Okay. So EMP ID, EMP name. So this is on 2023. Okay, for example, this is, we have a records, okay, for example, on 10th April, okay, and 11th April, okay. So I do have a records like, okay, these two records. 12th, today, okay. So I do have these records. Okay. So full load means, for example, today you have implemented one SSIS package that is performing the full load. That means my target table will be truncated and everything it should be loaded into my target table. Full load means all the 3 dates of data. When it comes to the incremental load, so for example, yesterday my package got ran. So that means from here to here, the data it was already there in my target table. So, and if I ran today, so today data only it will pick. Okay, not the previous day or before previous day data. Only, so the last when you ran from that date to up to today, at what time you are going to run the package, up to there the data will be loaded. That is called incremental load. That is called day by day data. So incremental load we can do, in a 2 ways actually. There are 2 possible methods to do the incremental load. One possible method with the help of date time column, another possible method with the help of auto increment column. Okay, if it is date time column, we can mostly perform the insert and update. For example, insert when you will perform. So if it is a new record, so we can insert the new record. For example, this 10th 4th, the first record, this is the value. And today they have updated as a something, this is, and this record today date, it will appear here in the source table, last modified date column, or some date column. So based on the date column, we will pick this record as well. So since this record we are picking, the record is already exist in my target table with this value. I would like to update the value. That means new records we can insert, existing records we can update. That is what in the incremental load it should happen when you use the date time. When it comes to the auto increment, there is no updates, only inserts. That is what it should happen. Okay, so if you want to perform the incremental loads, then we can mostly use the lookup transformation. Okay, there are a number of ways, but lookup is the best way to implement the incremental loads. Why? Because it will automatically decide based on the key column whether the record is exist in target or not. If it is exist, then it will come as a one output. If it is not exist, then it will commit as another output. If it is not exist in target means this non-match data we can directly load into our target table. Since if it is a match record, we can try to perform the update inside the SSIS. Okay. So especially when it comes to the lookup connection types, it will lookup transformation, it will only support 2 types of connection managers. One is OLEDB connection, another one is cache connection. Okay. So first let's create the SSIS package. Okay, before going to implement, okay, I would like to tell you my requirement. My requirement is I have a one source server. So inside the source server database, I do have a one table, for example, customers. Okay. So I have my target server, that is nothing but the destination server. So here I do have my target table customers. Okay. So my requirement is I would like to load the data to my target table in a form of incremental load, not the full load. Okay. So how to implement the SSIS package? First, let's create some sample data in my sample database, in my source database. So this is my source server. SQL test is my source DB. So here I am preparing one table with sample data. For example, I have a customers info is my source table. Here, customer ID integer, customer name. Okay, cust address as, and where I will keep like, okay, cust phone. Okay, begin for example. Okay, this is my source. So in my target table also I would like to create. This is my target table along with two additional columns. Inserted date time, updated date time. In my target table, this is the two additional columns. Okay. So with the help of lookup, I would like to implement the incremental load. Since the record is inserted, then I would like to populate the value to inserted date, but today date, whenever your SSIS package is running, by the time the date I supposed to populate. If record got updated, then I would like to update the record. Okay. So I would like to implement the incremental load in SSIS. So I have taken the data flow. So I'm inside the data flow. I would like to take the OLEDB source. So here, what is my source? SQL test is my source. So here, what is my customers info is my table. So all the columns I'm taking. Perfect. Now, I would like to take the lookup transformation. I would like to map this blue line to pipeline. So double click on the lookup. If you observe here, there is a general, totally 5 tabs is there. General, connection, columns, advanced, error output. So when it comes to the general, cache modes, connection types. Cache modes we can discuss further. Okay, now we can talk about the connection type. That too we can discuss only OLEDB connection manager. Okay, this OLEDB connection, our target is there in SQL Server only, right? So to connect with the SQL Server, which provider you're supposed to use? This OLEDB connection manager only we're supposed to use. So here, specify how to handle rows with no matching entries. Before explaining that, first let me create the connection. So I would like to connect to my target here. Where is my target? B13. Okay. Here, what is the table name? Customers info. Or else if you want to write the query, you can simply write the query and paste it here. Both are it should find. Okay. So when it comes to the columns, here you're supposed to mention what is the key column between these two tables. The key column is customer ID. Okay. The key column is customer ID. So based on that key column only, it will try to decide whether the record is matching record or non-matching record. That means that record is exist or not based on the customer ID. Okay. So now you can jump to the specify how to handle rows with no matching entries. With no matching entries. అంటే మ్యాచింగ్ రికార్డు అంటే సోర్స్ లో రికార్డు ఉండి టార్గెట్ లో రికార్డు లేకపోతే ఏం చెయ్యాలి అనుకుంటున్నావో స్పెసిఫై చెయ్యి అంటుంది. సో ఫెయిల్ కాంపోనెంట్ ఫస్ట్ నుంచి చూద్దాం. ఇగ్నోర్ ఫెయిల్యూర్ అంటే టాస్క్ ఫెయిల్ అవ్వకుండా ఇగ్నోర్ చేసేద్దామా. రీడైరెక్ట్ రోస్ టు ఎర్రర్ అవుట్పుట్ అంటే ఆ పర్టికులర్ రికార్డ్ని ఎర్రర్గా కన్సిడర్ చేయమంటావా. ఫెయిల్ కాంపోనెంట్ టాస్క్ ఫెయిల్ చేయమంటావా అంటే లుకప్ టాస్క్ ఫెయిల్ చేయమంటావా. లేదు రీడైరెక్ట్ రోస్ టు నో మ్యాచ్ అవుట్పుట్ అంటే ఈ పర్టికులర్ రికార్డ్ని నాన్ మ్యాచ్ రికార్డుగా అవుట్పుట్కి పంపించమంటావా. సో నాన్ మ్యాచ్ రికార్డుగా అవుట్పుట్కి పంపి అని దాని మీనింగ్. ఓకే, సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ఈ కీ కాలం బేస్ చేసుకొని అది డిసైడ్ అవుద్ది వెదర్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ రికార్డా నాట్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ రికార్డా. If it is existing record, there is no problem. If it is not existing record, you supposed to mention what you want to do with that. So I would like to produce as a non-match output. Okay, so when it comes to the advanced, especially when we are discussing about the cache modes, by the time I will explain about the advanced. Error output, this is nothing but the exception handling or error handling in SSIS. While explaining, by the time I will explain everything. Okay, so simply click OK. Yeah, so now first I will take the OLEDB destination. So I am mapping this blue line. So here I am taking the lookup no match output data was directly loading into my target. Okay, directly loading into the target. So where is my table? Customers info. Okay, so if record not exists, then we are directly loading the data in target table. If record exists, we supposed to perform the update. So how to perform the updates and deletions with the help of OLEDB command we can do. Okay, so let's map this OLEDB command. If you see lookup match output, we are pointed to OLEDB command. అంటే కస్టమర్ ఐడి ఒకటి అనేది సోర్స్ లోను ఉంది, టార్గెట్ లోను ఉంది. సో వాట్ వీ సపోజ్ టు డూ, అక్కడ ఇక్కడ ఉన్నంత మాత్రాన మిగతా కాలమ్స్ లో ఆ చేంజెస్ ఏం లేకుండా ఉండవు కదా, చేంజెస్ ఉండి ఉండొచ్చు కదా, అందువల్ల దాన్ని అప్డేట్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, సో go to the component properties once you have assigned the connection manager. My target database, my target server connection I have assigned, and go to the component properties. Here if you see SQL command, I would like to write the query. So I would like to update my target table. Set customer name ఒకటి update చేయాలి ఏదైనా చేంజెస్ ఉంటే. నెక్స్ట్ కస్టమర్ అడ్రస్ ఒకటి. నెక్స్ట్ కస్టమర్ ఫోన్ ఒకటి. నెక్స్ట్ అప్డేటెడ్ డేట్ టైం గెట్ డేట్ గా అప్డేట్ చేయాలి, అంటే ఎప్పుడు అప్డేట్ అయితే అప్పుడు డేట్ వచ్చి పడాలి. ఏ రికార్డుకి ఏదైతే రికార్డ్ మ్యాచ్ అయ్యిందో ఆ రికార్డు, అది ఎలా ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తాం, కస్టమర్ ఐడిని బేస్ చేసుకొని చేస్తాం. పారామీటర్స్ ఇచ్చాను, మొత్తం మనకి 4 పారామీటర్స్ ఇదే సీక్వెన్స్ లో మనం ఇక్కడ మ్యాపింగ్ కూడా చెయ్యాలి. ఓకే, సో కాపీ పేస్ట్ దిస్ and go to the column mapping. So here if you see we have used 4 question marks, that's what we have 4 parameters. The first parameter is customer name, parameter 0 customer name. Next customer address. Next customer phone. Next parameter customer ID. Finally, okay, simply click OK. Now if you see, if you execute, so before going to execute, first I would like to insert some sample data into my source table. Insert into customer info. Okay, so values customer ID 1, customer name AA, customer address something this value or else SAP. Okay, and customer phone is 11111. For example, this is the phone number. I do have a same two Sai. Okay, and this is his phone number. These two records it was there. So now if you execute the SSIS package, if you see from the source we have two rows came. So those two rows, it was not there in the destination. That is what it was considered as a no match output and it was loaded the data to my target table. Okay, so let's check the data in target table. Here we have some problem. I will show you. Yeah, data got loaded, but as per my requirement, inserted data is not populating. It is the indication of when this particular record got inserted. That is one issue. Okay, other than that issue, everything looks good. Data got loaded. And I will give the second run without changing anything in the source. What it will happen if you see? If you see, from the source, we have two records. Even though there is no change, it is blindly updating the records. Blindly updating the records. But it should not be the case, right? If there is any change, between the source and target, then only I would like to perform the update. So what I will do, so first we can focus on the inserted date time column. Okay. So here I would like to produce the new column, inserted date time, and I would like to pass it to my target table. Okay. So what I will do, I want to produce the new column. So derived column I will take. Okay. Delete it. So this is derived column name. I would like to give it as inserted date. Okay. So for this inserted date, I would like to use the expression get date. Okay. Leave it. Now go to the mapping. Inserted date. Okay. One issue got fixed. Another one. I would like to update only if there is a changes in the source and the change it was not matched with the target, then only I would like to change. So what we supposed to do, first open the lookup and select the columns. Why? Because we supposed to compare these columns against to my target. So these three columns I have selected. So I would like to rename it as a T underscore customer name, T underscore customer address, T underscore customer phone. Okay. Now take the conditional split transformation. Here we can compare source and target column to identify the changes, whether it is changed or not. Here, cannot directly. Okay, first open the conditional split. You would like to write the expression based on the source and target columns. These are all the source columns. Whichever the columns is started with T, they are the target columns. Okay, customer name equal to T customer name and customer address equal to T underscore customer address. Okay, and ఈ ఆపరేటర్స్ లో ఉంటాయి అండ్లు ఓకే ఈక్వల్ టు మొత్తం లాజికల్ అండ్ ఓకే ఓకే కస్టమర్ ఫోన్ equal to P underscore customer phone. Okay. So since we have used the AND condition, if everything matched, so that means this is the matched condition. Default output it is non-matched. If that condition is not satisfied, then it will come as a default output name, right? So this default output name, non-matched output, I would like to use. Okay. Now it is well and good. Okay. Now I am executing. You see, it will not update blindly. So it will come to here, these two rows, and it will check it here. Okay. If condition match, it will not come to the downstream. If condition not matched, then only it will come to the OLEDB. Okay. For example, now we can update some data in our source system. For example, update customers info. Set. What is the second column? Customer name equal to Sai Krishna, Sai Krishna, where customer ID equal to okay. Sai ani Sai Krishna ga update chestunna. One row affected. Now if you execute the SSIS package again, only that particular one record only it will be updated. Before that, I would like to insert one more record, third record. That means one insert and one update. So for example, third one, okay, Nani, okay, GND 333, okay. That means one new record, one existing record updated. So when I was executing the SSIS package, if you see from the source, totally 3 records came. Out of them, 2 are matched record, one is non-matched record. That one non-matched record, it was loaded to the OLEDB destination. And out of these 2 matched records, one record got not matching with the target value since it is existing. So that is what? That one record is got updated. Now you can check the table. Okay. Yeah. And if you see here, this is the one it is updated. Okay, this is the previous one. We did not truncate it, right? That is what still it is showing the value updated data. Okay, this is all about the lookup transformation. This is the way we can do the incremental loads with the help of lookup. So again, I am repeating the content of the lookup transformation. So what is the lookup transformation? Can be used to get the reference data from reference table. Here, what is the reference table? This is my source table. This target table is my reference. It will become here. Whichever the table you are going to use in a lookup transformation, that table will become a reference. Okay. So based on the key column, it will automatically decide whether it is the existing record or non-existing record. If it is existing record, it will consider lookup match output. If it is non-existing record, we are supposed to explicitly mention, specify how to handle rows with no matching entries, like redirect rows to no match output. When you consider this, it will produce the new output, lookup no match output. So here we can directly load the data into the destination. If it is matched record, we are trying to identify the changes between the source and target with the help of conditional split. And if it is change, we are trying to update the record. Okay. So up to here today. Okay.